Hi guys, well it's been a minute since I've done a YouTube video. Wow, I can't believe it's been so long. Anyway, I wanted to do a 2020 planner setup video for you guys today. I know I'm like seriously late to the game. It's now February 1st, but January was like the roughest, longest month ever. So anyway, here's the planner that I'm using for 2020. It is a personal size Moterm planner that I got from Amazon. The color is Milled Coffee. I don't believe that this planner is still available, but there are a couple of other ones. So I'll leave the link down below in the description box. So anyway, this is a big change for me because I've been in an A5 for a very long time. But decided to go with a personal to downsize not only my planner, but the tasks that I'm doing on a daily basis. So anyway, let's get started. Okay, so inside here is a zipper pocket. In the zipper pocket, I just keep some stickers that I use on a regular basis and an emery board. I used to keep the emery board in here, but then one of my cats saw it and stole it, so I now keep it in the zippered pouch. So, and in this front pocket here, I just keep like a little pad of sticky notes. I think I got this from Target Dollar Spot a couple of years ago. There is nothing in the back flap. What I really like about this planner is the big back pocket. And in here I have some cash. I have like some extra store cards, you know, like the rewards cards and things. Some extra vellums that I've printed. So that's pretty much it back there. And over here, I keep our insurance cards and my debit card. And then we get into my inbox. I have a top loading envelope from Filofax. So if I have like appointment cards or like a receipt while I'm out and about, I just throw it in here so I can take care of it later. And I printed some vellum to label. These dividers here came from Caffeine and Plans on Instagram. I'll link her in the description box below. So the paper clip, I'm not sure where I got this from. I had it forever and a day. So I think it was either Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I'm not sure. So this is a printable from PeanutsPlannerCo. And I just edited the PDF file to include inbox. And then it says task, project, and complete. So I just write down the things that I need to do and determine whether it's a task or a project. And when it's complete, obviously, it gets a check mark. And then I should have covered that up. Then I have just some grid paper that I use for notes. When I'm finished, I cross it out so that way I know that it's been taken care of. And then there is a page marker here that I got from Hobby Lobby. To take me to the current page that I'm on. And then there's, you know, some extra pages. This is my list section. I love that the tab says random shit. So these tabs are totally my style. Anyway, so this is where I keep all of my lists. It starts off with like a table of contents. So I just list out what lists are in this section. I don't date my lists so that way, or my table of contents on my list so that way I can keep reusing this page. So like for books I've read, this is books I've read in 2020, but I don't have the year here, so I can just keep reusing this page instead of rewriting it every year. So my routines, my weekly reset, someday maybe, products we buy. This is my favorite lip gloss, and then of course the HVAC filters. For our unit, family meal ideas. My husband is a true meat and potatoes man, but there's only so much meat and potatoes that I can eat, so I have to have running ideas because if he had his way, we would have burgers and mashed potatoes every night of the week. Some healthy meal ideas, just so I'm not, mainly for lunch and dinner. Mainly for lunch and snacks, because I don't want to spend a lot of time trying to figure out, you know, what I can eat, and this comes in really handy when I'm doing my meal plan. Because I can look at this and figure out what I want to have for lunch and just buy whatever I need to buy to make these. The same way with the snacks. You know, like I really love Greek yogurt with the Nature Valley, I think it's oats and dark chocolate granola. Oh, so good. It's a list of day trips that we can take. They're relatively close to where we live, so it would just be like a full day. We would have to leave like super early in the morning and we would get back super late at night, but it would still just be a day. Vehicle maintenance. I work from home, so I don't get out much. So oil changes are like nothing. Some blog ideas. My weekly review. I got this from Brandy Michelle Plans. She does have a free printable, but my printer was all jacked up at the time, so I just rewrote it. And I have a tab here because it's frequently used, and I didn't want to have to flip through all my notes pages. So this is just the process that I go through every week when I sit down and do my planning, usually on Sundays. So these are my weekly tasks, things that I do every week, the monthly review, and monthly tasks. Okay, here's the books that I've read in 2020. So far, I've read 5. I'm working on my 6th. So I set a goal for 12 because I figured a book a month. Not really sure how this year was going to play out, but I'm like way ahead of that. So I'm going to leave my goal at 12 just in case stuff hits the fan. So I'm still covered. YouTube ideas, and then some blank papers. The next is my goal section, more vellum. Let me see. This is my word of the year for 2020, confident. And then I just put some of the attributes that I believe personify the word confident. Some of these, probably don't make any sense to you, like self-care, because a confident woman is not, is self-care. But it prompts me that, I need to take better care of myself, not just, mentally and physically, but emotionally. So there's that. Okay, I have some goals back here that okay. So I got this insert from PeanutsPlannerCo, and I have my goals broken down on the sides. And then I go into detail, like the steps that I need to take to achieve those goals. So that's there. And then over here is, again, taken from Brandy Michelle Plans. I just wrote it out. Do you know what I mean? So I can just say, these are my 5 goals. Why do I want to achieve these goals? And then how I'm going to achieve those goals in quarter 1, so January through March. So come probably the middle part of March, I'll sit down and do my Q2 goals, or my Q2 how, and keep it moving. So I have some extra pages back here for that. Projects, again, this paper clip is either from Michaels or Hobby Lobby. It came in the same set as the heart paper clip from earlier. Project planning process. Again, Brandy Michelle Plans. I love her channel. It's awesome. So this is my master projects list. So all the projects that, I want to take care of, if they're completed, I check them off. These are the current projects that I'm working on. So it's different from the master projects list because this is everything, but these are the ones I'm currently working on. And then I just have them broken down. So here's the project. These are the steps, the next action, so to speak, that I need to take in order to complete this project. Okay, and then we move into dates, which is my monthly calendar, my week on 2 pages. I'm using the monthly Foldout. I think it's version 3C from DIY Fish. I'm not really sure, so I'll have to link it in the description box below. But the calendar, I'm just going to show you February because I haven't filled it out yet. But the calendar folds out, so it's a Monday start, which has been somewhat of an adjustment. But anyway, this is the month on one side, and on the back side, it has an empty spot here where I do my habit tracking. This is the things that I want to complete that month or need to be completed that month. And then here, I just do our financial stuff. So I write down the bill, how much it is and when it's due, and then amount paid, and then I have a space where it's paid and then where it's cleared. So when I pay it, I check it off, and when it's cleared the bank, I check it off. So that way, because I don't like balance checkbooks and stuff anymore. I mean, I don't know who does that with the banking apps available, but anyway. So I like to keep track of it here. So if it's cleared, I know that it's already come out of my available balance, so I don't need to count it again. And I have all the way through June in here, I believe. Yes, June. And then we get into my week on 2 pages from So Much Crafting. lined with checklist. So I suck at these checklists, which is why I'm wanted to try this one. Maybe if it's in my face all the time, I would actually fill it out. Clearly I haven't, but it is what it is. So in the center here, I have like a today paper. It's just my next actions list. Things that I know that need to be done, but don't have a timeline to get done. So, and then in the center, I have a free printable from PeanutsPlannerCo. It's like the today day on one page insert. So if I have a really busy day, like, Friday was, I wanted to make sure that I wrote everything down and didn't forget anything. So because, Friday only has so much space on the monthly calendar or the weekly calendar. So I just did that. And I just keep it in here. And when I'm finished, I'll just toss it away. So, and then I have some extras. I have through June and the week on 2 pages. And then I have some extra daily pages in the back and then some extra note pages in the back. Let's see. Then I have my kids' school calendar. I printed it so it folds out. Because there's already been some issues with the actual wall calendar that they sent home at the beginning of the year where there's been some misprints. So I refer to this when I put my no school or half day stickers on, which are from Planner Kate, by the way. This is my fitness section. This came from Caffeine and Plans as well on Instagram. I thought it was really cool, and it's a good reminder, so I printed it out. I'm not going to show you what's directly behind this because, oh, yeah, I can, I think. Hang on. Yeah. Okay, so right behind this is just, printed vellum. I have a little tab. The tabs that I use are these just Post-it tabs I got from Walmart. I just cut the colored part off, and then I stick it in my corner rounder punch to make the corners round. And then I use my label maker to put the label on there. And here is my steps. I'm tracking my steps. I have an Apple Watch. I had a Fitbit for years, but I figured the Apple Watch was much more realistic for me, just because I have, I work on a MacBook Pro, I have an iPhone, so it just made sense. So I just keep track of my steps here. I usually track them the day after or a couple days after. I haven't filled in the rest of January yet. Excuse me. I'm hoping that once the weather clears up, I can get out and get back on my walks. I used to walk 5 miles a day, and I would hit my 10,000 steps, before I even came home, so I want to get back into that. Just winter months are just so difficult. And I found these inserts on, well, not inserts, but I found these images on Instagram, Shape's Instagram page. So I just, I went to their website and just printed them out on personal size paper and just punched them so that I can have some things to do, weight-wise. The next insert is my weight tracker. We're not going to look at that because nobody wants to see that. The next section is my finances. Clearly, you're not going to see a whole lot in here. Again, more vellum. This is another insert that I got from Caffeine and Plans. So it says, hey, you exit out of that tab. You don't need another planner or washi tape or bag or like anything really. I so needed this. I tried the No Spend January, and I think I made it to like January 10th. And my sister was just like, so, hey, how's that No Spend January going? And I'm just like, yeah, hush. So it was fun. But anyway, so in here I have an income tracker. I keep track of the income that's brought in, obviously. I am paid once a month. And unfortunately, I have not, January was a 5-week pay period. And I have not been paid in January. So I've gone an entire month without a check. But my husband, fortunately, gets paid weekly. So I won't get my first check of 2020 until next week. So it'd be in February, which, kind of sucks. But, when I get paid once a month, I just log in and pay all of our bills for the month and we don't have anything to worry about. My husband's weekly income usually goes for groceries every week, just because I tend to buy fresh when if at all possible. And let's face it, they're not going to last a month no matter what you do to them. And things like if some things come up at the kids' school, you know, God forbid we need something, you know, for the car, you know, or his truck or whatever. So anyway, that's what we do there. I tried to print these front and back, but for whatever reason, this one, my printer started acting weird, and it didn't print front and back, so I just have 2 different pages here. And then, I don't remember where I got this expense tracker from, but I will link it in the description box. I just go through and write down, I've written down everything we've spent money on in January, with the exception of the bills, because bills are an expense you're going to have regardless. So everything that's non-bill related, I have written down for the month of January, because I want my husband to see exactly where our money's going. Do you know what I mean? So that he knows. He has a very difficult time understanding things when I talk to him. So it's best if I show him. And then behind there, I have payment trackers from SM Plans. This is where all of our debt, well, not all of our debt, but a good part of our debt is. And then I just write down, you know, when it's, you know, what we've paid, what the balance is, the interest rate, what our goal payment is per month, you know, and so on and so forth. So this is what it looks like. So you have the company starting balance, interest rate, due date, minimum payment, goal payoff date, and goal payment. And then there are some extra pages should you need them. So it was pretty cool. Then the next section is for my youngest kid. My oldest kid's grown and out of the house. So this is for my youngest kid. I made this insert on my computer because last year, the end of last year, he developed an allergic reaction to an antibiotic that he was put on. And I was just like, man, I'm never going to remember that, because it's not like it's penicillin or amoxicillin or, you know, any kind of run-of-the-mill antibiotic. So I just, you know, put his recent school picture on there, and then I have his personal information, you know, his name, date of birth, height, weight, stuff like that. And then down here I have known allergies. So in the event that something happens, and God forbid he winds up in the emergency room for any reason, or we change doctors, I have this information here. And then behind there, I made these doctor visit inserts. So, and I made them so they're generic, so they can be used for anybody. So I've mainly been using them for my kid, just because he's the one who goes to the doctor more than any of us. So I just, you know, it's who, date of visit, reason for visit, and any notes. So notes is where I would put like his height and his updated height and his weight, anything that the doctor suggested that we try, so on and so forth. In the back, I have a folder, pocket folder. And here is, this is my macaroni and cheese recipe. Well, it's not mine, it was my grandmother's. God rest her soul. I am responsible for this dish for every family get-together. I know the recipe by heart after making it for, I'd say, the last 15, 16 years. But it's still a nice reminder. It always reminds me of my grandmother when I flip back here and see this. And then I just have these 2 little cards back here. I got these from a book that I picked up at Michael's. It was a whole page. It's a page of little things like this, and I just cut them out. I don't know what I'm going to use them for, but, you know, pretty nice to keep them back there. And then in the back, I keep some of my cards, my public library card, some credit cards, you know, stuff like that. The pen that I'm using is a Uniball Signo DX. It is a .28 tip. So I write very large. So having a fine tip pen helps me, I guess, write neater. It doesn't, the ink isn't as broad or as thick, so it looks better. So anyway, that is my 2020 planner setup.